I've been doing some thinking on what it means to be happy. And over the past couple of months, I found that it comes and then it goes and it comes back again. And the way in which it changes so quickly just doesn't seem to make sense. And then I spent some time thinking about it. And I came to this realization that all happiness really is a prediction of where you see your future self, given what you're doing right now. In this current state, I'm feeling a sense of happiness because my future self is going to be someone who's hopefully doing this videos and people are seeing them all around the world, because this very act of me doing this is getting me one step closer to that goal. At the same time, I can feel an immense sense of unhappiness because I'm not doing a specific action, and so it's going to result in me not getting to where I want to be and my life looking completely different. Now, fundamentally, like in the present, nothing is very much different. The only thing that's different is where you see your future self. And so the reason why happiness, or the feeling of happiness, is continuously changing or continuously updating really, is because your prediction of your future is constantly changing every day you show up for yourself. And because both are tied so closely together, I think it's really important that when you feel a sense of discomfort or a sense of unhappiness, is to use that as almost a signal to figure out the steps in which you want to take going forward. What I mean by that is, if you're feeling an area of unhappiness in your life, imagine the future in which it's causing you to be unhappy, whether it's you're alone, or you are not in a good physical shape, or you haven't achieved the goal that you wanted to. And then work yourself back and figure out, what are the steps I need to be doing now to get me closer to that goal? And you'll find quickly that if you can just take those steps, your happiness gets updated, and because your future's been updated, and now you're all of a sudden feeling good again. It's not the result. I used to think that quite a bit, I'll be happy when I get the result. The result is just a thing. What it's really about is this future that we're trying to optimize our life for. And if you are living a life in which your future is somewhat certain because of the actions that you're doing, I think happiness becomes quite prevalent. And just one final note before I end, I don't think happiness is ultimately what we really care about, but this all really just ties into certainty. Having certainty that life is going to be good, that things are going to be okay. And that very idea of certainty is really, really what we want. Now, yeah, you can create certainty, and certainty really just comes through doing something and building confidence in yourself. But sometimes it needs to be faked. Sometimes you just need to tell yourself that you're certain that things are going to be great. Sometimes you have to manually go in and change the future you keep going back to that you don't like. And I know it may sound like a cop-out of a device, but if I'm being serious, it really is just updating the way you think of your future, and just every time your brain goes off, you have to course correct and course correct and course correct, because as I said, your happiness is tied to where you think you're going to be in the future. And so if you just change the way you think about where your future will be, you'll feel a lot more happier in the moment. And I think that's the ultimate goal, to just living a life being present and making the most of it. Anyway, I hope this will get me one step closer towards my happiness, or element of certainty, in doing this video. And it was really great speaking to you all. I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.